Hello, welcome. As always, before I get started, I just want to make sure that I am not speaking to myself. So we're going to do our normal audio check. Just let me know if you can hear me, and then we're going to get started. And forgive me if it looks like I'm doing nothing. I know there's a little lag here. Okay, perfect. Awesome. Okay. Good news. Okay, so I don't know how many of you had the opportunity to view my video from a few hours ago, but I was talking about some of the trends and how it was playing out based off of looking at the candlestick, and it was looking like we were projecting to have another upwards movement, because even after the rejection, we saw some. Hold on, let me go to the candle. So yeah, so the candle's expanding. So pretty much we got a rejection here, but the next candle was in fact green. So technically speaking, after a rejection of this magnitude, that's what this long wick is. Technically speaking, we should get a downward momentum, but the next candlestick was in fact green. So that lets me know that we have a lot of positive momentum. And I have one here. I have some moving averages, 2150, 200 here. They're all different colors here. And I was looking at the trends after my video, and I noticed something, because this isn't the first time where we dip down below these three infamous moving averages. So the 200 moving day average is going to be this purple line up here. The 50-day is going to be the blue, and our 21 is going to be the green. And historically, we dip down here. This is back all the way to July of last year. We'll dip down, and then we'll have that rally upward until we reach that resistance level of around 33 cents. So if you've been following my videos, I've been saying this for months and months. We have to break that 31 to 33 cents resistance level if we're going to go and challenge our all-time high. So typically we go up there and we'll have that resistance. We'll hit that, and then we'll start our downtrend. So, but we see here, we dip down below our moving averages. We had our trend up. We dip down below our moving averages. We had our trend up. We dip down below our moving averages. And this looks like with this catalyst here, we're seeing some rejection. Typically, we see this rejection often around this range, because if you look here, this is back in July, you'll see we're getting some strong rejections here. But again, the pressure, and that's what these little small candles mean, but the pressure is so great that we're still able to start trending upward. And then we have like some big like green candles, and that kind of just pushes us up through. But it's very normal for us to get rejection. So look here, this is July, around 20 cents, 21 cents, big long wick here. And we're seeing the exact same thing, which is roughly 6 months later. We're seeing the exact same pattern here again. We were able to break through, and it looks like that's what we're doing here, because we have this smaller green candle. We were able to break through and start that upward trend. And historically speaking, based off of the last two upticks, this should be our momentum to go up and challenge that 31 to 33 cents line. But this is specifically because of the catalyst that we have coming out. So I gave you guys the floors, which is on the bearish end. On the optimistic end, we know we're going to be in great shape when we come up here and we test that 200-day moving average, which is around 23 or 24, right? So when we come up here and test this, that'll put us, we'll know that we're pretty much following the trend that we've had here for the last 6 months. And we're on our way up to test that 30 to 33 cents line again. So technically speaking, we go and we test it like, so from, this is July, we peaked, we rallied down, we came back a month later, then August, we came down to October, then we come up a month. So it's always the downtrend that takes the longest. It takes us about a month to go challenge it, but it can take us like about 2 months to actually hit rock bottom. And it looks like we are pretty much on track with that because we peaked at around October. We started our downtrend, November, December. We're in January, and now we're starting our uptick again. So we're actually right on schedule for us to be challenging. So pretty much this means that within the next 3 weeks or so, we should be, if everything goes well, we should be expecting to challenge this 30 to 33 cents line. That is the bullish aspect of it. So I'm going to switch back over and look at some of the questions here. Because I'm sorry, I was on the other screen, so I'm not ignoring you guys. I was on the other screen here. So let's see. October 1. Better accumulate and have patience. Absolutely. Yeah. October 1st. I saw the date. It's been finalized. They were hoping to have it done in March for Q1, but it looks like it's coming up to October, so which is great. Around that time, we have some resets in the market and stuff, so that'll be really great for us to have some momentum going on toward the later of the year. So let's see. Let's see, bro, no one has any more money to put in Doge or AMC. How long you trying to keep my money tied up with this bull? AMC should have been rocket, right or wrong. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, no one can time it. I mean, if anyone could time the market accurately, we'd be trillionaires. So, but yeah, I do expect something, even tax-wise, just because the government kind of co-signed that they're going to be covering it. So I do expect some movement here Q1, because I do think that most of the shares for AMC were purchased Q1 last year. I was one of the, I didn't get in like at $1 or $2, but I did start accumulating at around $5. So I know for a fact that a lot of AMC shares and a lot of holders, they're coming up on their 1-year mark. So a lot of us wouldn't mind paying lower taxes if this did drag on for a little bit, but we'll see if the SEC government even allows that to happen. Let's see. What was the reason for the change from March to October? I don't know. I haven't looked into it, honestly, because I was wondering that. But I do know, I've been to, I'm from Florida. I've been to Kennedy Space Center and stuff like that a lot. They will adjust a rocket launch or in a heartbeat. I don't know the reason. That's something I can definitely look into, but I'm not sure at this moment. There's a countdown clock. Absolutely, there's a countdown clock. Let's see. Jenna. Hi, Jenna. How are you? Yes, I am doing well. Absolutely. So I'm going to go back here and take a look at this. So looking at this, we're coming out. We just surpassed the, let's see, our 21-day moving average, which has been around 16 cents. You guys know that we've been going sideways for quite some time. We passed our 21-day moving average. We we're right above our 50-day, which is like 1816. And so we have that big gap up here till around our 200-day. And because we've been trending sideways and we've hit some of these lower numbers, we were actually starting to bring the 200-day down. But it's actually, let's see, when I ran the numbers a few weeks ago, it was right around like 24, 25 cents range. But again, historically, we should be, as long as we don't get any like negative information again from like the press or Goldman Sachs and all that kind of stuff saying that they're going to raise interest a bunch of times this year, so that and not drive fear into the markets. This should be our rally to go test this. What is this 33 cents line resistance here? Because once we break that, then we're on trajectory. Let's see if I can zoom out a little more here. Let's see. So yeah, once we break that, I want to say our next one is around 43, 42. Let's see. Yeah, 44. That was the last time we got slapped down. And this was back in May. We were coming back up. And we have not been able to test that 42, 43 cent line again. Yeah, so after that, we started our downtrend, which was the original one. We had a big red candle here. Start the momentum back up. So yeah, so I say like 42, 43 cents. So we have to break through this 33, 34 cent line here. So we are on track to challenge it again for the third time in the next, based off of this cycle here, we're looking at within 3 weeks, if everything goes smoothly. So we're going to challenge that 33 cents line again. And then if we break through that, it should be pretty smooth up until we get to the 42, 43 cents line, because even the last time we went up there and tested it, these are some pretty decent size green candles to get us there before we got rejected. So I think that within the next 3 weeks or so, if these catalysts are pumping like we hope we are, and I think that we're in great position to make that happen, because we've seen the reaction that we got just off of the Tesla merge. And there's a lot more options, and there's a lot more accessible for people to do things via AMC. So as far as like the movies that are coming out, and I want to say that Adam Aaron said that it's going to be available for all things online. So definitely like the movie tickets and stuff, that's going to be the biggest thing. And they've been doing really well as far as for ticket sales. So I think that if we have that same energy and sell out some movie theaters the way that the Tesla merch has been selling out, I think we're going to get some of those big candles, and we're certainly going to be able to test that 33 cents line and hopefully even break through it. The only issue is I heard that, if I remember the tweet correctly, Adam Aaron said he's hoping that they're on schedule to have it done around March, April. So, and that is March, April, that's the end of Q1. And that is where the Fed supposedly said that they're not going to inject the markets with it was 120 billion a month, but now they are cutting down by 30 billion up until March or April, and then they're not going to do it anymore. So we're going to see what the market can actually looks like without Fed intervention. So that'll be March, April will be a very interesting time for all of us, especially those of us that are invested in the markets and Doge. But I believe that the AMC catalyst, if we generate the press that we need, especially if all the information like with the squeeze and all that kind of stuff is still out there, this will make headlines everywhere. And if we create the momentum, especially those of us that are invested in both, easy catalyst to support both of your investments. And I think that if we take that same energy from Tesla merch and put it on AMC, I think that we're going to get the momentum we need to start our upward trend and hopefully test some of those higher levels again from last year. So we can literally have like a similar pattern to what we did last year around this time, which was our upward trend. So then that'll be really exciting to have 2 years of data and a similar pattern again. So I'm excited about that. I'm going to come back over and look at some of the comments. And again, I'm not ignoring you guys, but my chart and the comment section are on 2 different screens. So I have to kind of like switch back and forth. Let's see. Do you think we'll see Doge hit 19.5-ish again tonight with the volume? I mean, it's possible. I mean, again, we've had these because if you watch my video earlier today, I called it when I said even though we got rejected, we're having that big wick. The next candle is actually green. So which is pretty much we got rejected, but it wasn't enough pressure to get us going in the opposite direction. So because technically speaking, when you see a wick like this, that long, you're supposed to see a downward pattern like this. And then you can build up some resistance. It's considered like a big force coming down. And then you can kind of build up some resistance and then start going back. But Doge, literally we got that wick. I mean, and then which is the resistance. So Doge literally hit and it was like, no, and it literally started pushing back. That's why I was excited in the video. And I was like, the next candle, it was very small, but I was like, the next candle is actually green. So we're still headed in the positive direction. And we are. It's only been a few hours since then, but so far that's held up to be true. So that's a really great news. It says, you're welcome, guys. I sold at 13 last week, so you can. I've seen a few people in the comment sections over the last few days. They said that Doge literally only rallies when they sell. So George, that is really funny. That's really funny. I know quite a few people will say that that only happens when they sell. Let's see. Yeah, looking at like opportunity. Like for me, I haven't got my 2020 tax check yet, which is 7 stacks. And hopefully I get this year check with this. So I'm putting the entire 14 plus in any extra I have. Yeah. This year is going to be a great opportunity. So I think that depending on when you inject that, because I looked at the 1 month, I want to say, and at the peak last night, I want to say Doge was up like 23% or something like that for the month. So really big rally. 23% is a lot. Because you see the headlines, they're like, oh, it's not. I wouldn't say it's surging. 23% is a lot, especially in less than a month. I wouldn't complain about those gains at all. Doge will moon once AMC accepts it, possible $5-ish. Yeah, I'm excited for the AMC acceptance because the way the people responded to Tesla, and now we have the largest the largest movie chain in the world. And I know a lot of us invest. A lot of us have money in both. It's going to be exciting times for AMC and Dogecoin. So I'm very, very excited about that. So I definitely believe Robinhood wallets rolling out. When it does, will bring us to the next phase of our uptrend. Yeah, Robinhood needs to hurry up and come out now with those wallets, especially after what I've seen. I don't want no excuses. I want those Robinhood wallets out before AMC accepts Dogecoin. Before any of that's finished, I want those Robinhood wallets out. I don't want no excuses. What are your realistic price predictions on the AMC squeeze as the share price has dropped considerably? So I've been talking about this for the past few weeks in my group. It's hard to put a price as far as like on the uptrend, because when you do halts and you start getting into human psychology as far as for when to take profits. So the upside is really difficult, but I'll say that the drop it's not surprising to me. I think that they're going to try and get it, because if you look at the available shares, they have around 6 million available shares like right now. So my thing was they were going to try and get it into the teens, which they successfully accomplished today. And I think they're probably going to try maybe like 17. Hopefully, I'm thinking that maybe like 15. And then they're going to start dumping those shares, that 6 million shares, to kind of really tank it and flush out the amount of people that are have been holding. And hopefully, so it doesn't, because it's going to give the illusion that it's doing like a full like retrace almost. So they're going to say that, okay, well, if we can dip it into the teens, the people that are deep red, we know they're going to panic and sell. Like, okay, oh my God, it's going to $0 or back to $2 or whatever. And then a lot of the people that have been holding, I want to say my DCA on E-Trade is like $10 or something. So the ones that, like me, that have been holding, we've had no fear this entire time, because no matter what happened, we were still up 100%. I'm still roughly up 100% now. So it's not like that big of a deal. So, at 60, 70 bucks, we're up 600, 700%. So it's easy to hold when your DCA is that low. But now that you're coming down and you're challenging a lot of those lower DCAs, I believe they're going to try and flush out some paper hands. And that way, when they do decide to cover, it'll be a lot of available shares on the market. Because if the price is that low, people are panicking and selling, and of course they have options as well, there'll be a lot of available shares on the market. So when they do dump those shares, they can, then exercise those options, collect the spread, make some money, or use that to pay for some of the shares. And the market will be flooded with shares, because remember, if let's just say there are synthetics that are 2 to 1, all of those shares that they buy, they're not going to be able to sell back into the market. Some of them are going to have to be removed. So therefore, best case scenario is when you start to cover something, you're going to want a lot of shares on the market. So that is what I think that they are aiming for. So I know that was a really long answer, but that is why I think that it is dropped. So that is to be expected. I think we are close. And upwards, I can see, mathematically, this should easily, I'll just say this, and this is being optimistic, this should easily be in the 5 figures. So But again, we'll know. We'll see. Human psychology plays a part in it. We could all start selling. They could halt it for 2 days. Who knows? But we'll see. But I do think that 5 figures is not out of the realm. But just depending on human psychology, it can probably hit 4 and start trending back downward just because of people and panic and stuff like that. But it is not beyond possibility. So I'm not going to say $1 million a share and stuff like that. I'm sure you've seen those videos, but you're going to have to pick your own numbers. But I'll say that those numbers that I just said are possible. Let's see. If you had to guess a Doge price by the end of the year, what would it be? Okay, great question. Before I answer that, I just want to say that if you found any value in anything I've said so far, please like the video. I have no idea how many likes we have now, but please like it and consider subscribing if you want to get more TA from me. I do this literally every day, even if I don't talk about it in depth on YouTube. I do this every day, and you'll hear from me with my findings. Okay, so if you had to guess a Doge price by the end of the year, what would it be? So if I had to guess a Doge price by the end of the year, a lot of variables in there. I can better give an answer. I've said this a few times around March or April, just because I really want to see what happens and how aggressive the Fed's going to be with buckling down on interest rates, so that way I can know how aggressive institutions are going to rebalance their portfolios and pull money out of crypto. So that is a big portion of it, because I have no idea what the I know that we've had over $1 trillion injected over the last year. I know that the market went from basically 1 trillion to like 3.3 trillion in like 18 months. I know that that money does not belong to retail. And so I don't know where the market can consolidate if that money were to leave, and which we've seen several times the last year where big volume has left. I gave the bottoms already, the 12, the 6, all that kind of stuff. Optimistically, I want to see us above, and this is, I'll say conservatively, because I can't gauge the catalyst and stuff like that. But I would like to see us around $1, depending on it. Let's say that the Fed says we're going to do this slowly, and we're able to start getting that uptrend back, and we are doing what we're supposed to with these catalysts that we have. And then the Doge 1 mission is a huge success. We get international press, a bunch of new money comes on. It's everywhere. Fox, CNN, CNBC, the first cryptocurrency is, it's in space and stuff like that. I would like to see us somewhere up there, but those are kind of like peaks. At the end of the year, it's kind of difficult because I'm sure there'll be mass profit taking, especially from the people that have purchased at like 15 cents and it's at $1 now. I know there's going to be some selling, but I say bottom, 12 cents, 10 cents. If we get that massive sell-off by the Feds, optimistically, I like to see us at around $1. I'll have a better idea, and I'll make a video on this around March or April when we get some concrete movement from the Fed. But in order for me to actually feel comfortable answering this, I would need those numbers and that action plan moving forward. Because I do like to look at charts and numbers so I can give like projections. I don't like to randomly just put out numbers just because they're optimistic. So let's see. We need to spend as much of our Doge as possible. It's basically like burning the supply. Absolutely. So for those of you who haven't seen any of my videos, I believe that when we take our money and inject it into Tesla, AMC, GameStop, these companies are not going to dump at least as quickly as a whale would back into the dollar and can do a conversion immediately. And it's in my opinion that they would drip their currency if they were to convert either all of them or simply a percentage at their choice. I believe that we have an opportunity here to turn Tesla, AMC, and companies, and these other companies that are going to come behind them, into whales in the market. And that's like technically like a form of burning, because you are, the lower the overall supply is to buy, the more the coins are worth. So technically speaking, you'll say that, you know, coins, stock, when do they go up? They go up because people are purchasing them. You purchase them, there's a higher demand. There's less coins on the market, supply and demand, less coins available to purchase, supply and demand. And so when we do that, and when we take the coins out of the system and they're now being held by Tesla, held by AMC, that is less coins to purchase. So the remaining coins are now what? They're now worth more money. And then you still have the demand on those coins to, continuously use them, AKA utility. So what does that mean for the value? That means the value goes up. So that is technically like a form of burning. And really, that's really, you can look at the same thing with our dollar. That's why we have inflation now. There's money everywhere and nowhere for it to go. Therefore, inflation rises so that we can kind of absorb it. So, when we start spending Dogecoin and we get these catalysts underway, that'll open the door for more institutions, more people to start giving us areas to spend it. And then we can just kind of start snowballing it. So absolutely, DJ Brian, absolutely. I agree with that. Sorry, I just refreshed it and I didn't realize I was this far behind in the comments. I saw a chat here. Just showing support. Thank you, Mr. Me. I appreciate you. Doge for groceries. Absolutely. Yeah, that's really what I want to do ultimately. I want to put pressure on some of these larger companies. So this is why I'm excited when we start selling out stuff with Tesla. I want to do the same thing with AMC and really start putting pressure on a lot of these other companies that say they accept cryptocurrency. And when we have a history of selling out, massive support, anytime anyone says we're going to accept cryptocurrency, Doge is going to have to be there, because at that point it's going to be the obvious choice for payment. So this is why I think we are putting ourselves in excellent condition to make Doge literally the internet currency. So, and that's Doge settling into its niche. And that's the one thing that you have for longevity, is when you have a niche, you settle into it, and you're able to adapt, grow, and we'll wiggle our way back into that top 10, and that's how you stay there for longevity purposes. Let's see. Dogecoin is not ever going away. Get in now. Utility is here and only getting better. Absolutely. Somehow it looks like price manipulation. I'm not complaining. What part? Yeah, because there's always some manipulation in the markets. I've learned that vastly over the last 18 months or so. There's always some manipulation somewhere. Thanks, David. No problem. You're welcome. Need to learn how to buy something with Doge. Do you have a video about that? I'll be making one. I started writing one as far as for the points I want to go over. I expect to have it out within like the next 48 hours. It'll probably be in addition to like a regular video, but I'll have something on that within the next 2 days. Holding Doge since 2018, not selling ever. This is the way. This is the way. Do you have a wallet? Yeah, Nano. Yeah, outside the platforms, cold wallet. So definitely recommend the Nanos. Let's see. So Doge One Rocket is still launching end of March. No, they moved it. Well, as far as for the talks or whatnot, we have the official date. I know they were talking about March 2022, but the official date, from what I understand, is now October 1st. 4:24 p.m. I want to say there's a countdown clock or something like that somewhere. I may make a video about it, but it had been done so many times on YouTube. I didn't want to just put the same information out there. So I know it's out there, but yeah, October 1st, 4:24 p.m. this year. Let's see. Is it easy to purchase something on Tesla merch site or give you your code scan for that from your wallet? Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I don't think because I mean technically because I'm gonna say Mark Cuban did it first with the BitPay, but yeah, it's not as difficult as you may think. But what I think what I'll do is I'll just record my screen and then just kind of go in there and do it and just block stuff out so that way you can kind of just see it being done. I think that'll probably be helpful. October 1st. But it was originally in March, but they move dates like crazy. So I mean, it's not even if they may move it from October. We don't know. Like I mean, it's not it could be a rainy day or something. They're like, oh nope, we're moving it. So um, I went to go see several. Even as a kid, I would go on trips to like Kennedy Space Center and stuff like that, where we'd go. We're supposed to see like a launch, and then they end up getting scrapped. So it's very temperamental. I'll say that. So you just kind of got to hold on. But as of right now, I want to say that it is October 1st. How long until Amazon takes Doge? We got to put some pressure on it. I want to say that they're in talks of doing Bitcoin, which is not going to work. But I think that the more we are pushing and and blowing these numbers out of the water, that's the quicker we can speed up that time frame as far as to when Amazon is actually going to take Doge. So I think that I think that we're on the right track to make that happen. Um, so it's really just up to us. But as long as we are doing what we're supposed to do, similar to what we've been doing with Tesla, I think that that'll be in the near future. Okay. Looking forward to a video about how to put crypto in crypto wallet. Absolutely. Yeah, I've been getting asked that a lot. So yeah, I'll be sure to make that. What do you think about keeping your Doge on Webull? It just really depends as far as for if you plan on spending it and how long that you're going to hold. Um, so like for me, most of my it really just depends as far as like longevity wise, but my positions that are like really, really long or that I'm just like literally holding, which is a vast amount of Doge and most of like my Bitcoin, they're all in cold wallets. So, because I don't have any plans to, sell them or interchange with them or buy anything with them. So right now, so they're in cold wallets. So when you want to keep like any crypto like on a brokerage, you're going to say, okay, I'm going to trade this. This is for profit. This is a small amount of my overall balance. Well, yeah, trading and I guess in profit because if you don't have the option to remove it, then you can't sell it or remove it anyway. So yeah, so I just if you just want to do that to kind of have like exposure to your portfolio, then I don't think that's a bad move. But I will say don't have all of your coins on with a brokerage. Have some that are literally what I call out of the system. Will Doge retrace back under 14 anytime soon? I need more. My average is 15.9. It really depends. It's not impossible. That's what I'm not sure at what point you got into the chat, but based off of this chart here, we should be on our way to retest that 33, 34, 30 cent, 33, 34 cent line. Typically, when we dip down below our moving averages, we have that rally up and we go test it. And the market says no, we go back down, we come back up again, we test it, it says no, we go back down, and now we dip below the moving averages, and we never start the trend over again until we dip below all three of the moving averages, which we have. And we went here to around like 19, and we dipped back below the 21-day moving average, and now we're building our case again. So we'll know for sure when we come up and we touch that 200-day moving average, which is going to be right around this 23-24 cent line, this purple and this line I drew here. So we'll know for sure if we're on our way to test that 33-cent line resistance again. So if not, if the catalyst comes out, if Fed comes out and say, hey, look, inflation is out of control, we got to get this under control, we're going to have to raise these rates, get things under control, then you can expect massive fear like we saw last week. We can expect whatever's left of the institution's money, since it's no longer, since technically crypto is still considered a higher risk investment than stocks. You can expect a lot of money to flow out of the crypto market back into the stock market so they can rebalance those portfolios and move into what they would deem safer investments. So that is the time where I believe that if we were going to retrace back under there, that those are the catalysts that I believe that would send us under that. And I've already given the ranges where we should get resistance and some bounces. So let's see. You have the best channel. I appreciate you. Thank you. That's it. To the moon. Are there any coins not on the mainstream radar that might be on your radar? Depends on what you mean by mainstream, like not top 10. I made a video. Oh, Amigos PC. Hey, how are you guys? I made a video with my top 5, and those are cash grabs mostly. What has the potential to pump, and this is obviously going to have to happen in a great market. But Dogecoin, SafeMoon, Shiba has the opportunity, but I made a video the other day showing that those lower highs, that's very alarming. So it looks like it may be doing a full retrace. But it's a top 5 video I made. Hold on. As a matter of fact, I'll grab it and I'll post it. I'll put the link in the chat because I went over the numbers before the end of the year, and I decided to share them. And these are just, again, I'm not long in any of these cryptos, but I do just want to share them because I believe on average they can 3x relatively quickly. And that is the link to that video. Top 5, those are not necessarily long in all of them. But I do believe that in a decent market, if we don't have anything crazy with the Fed going on, we can see a multiplier there. Let's see. My views on Raven coin. I have not ever looked at that coin. I don't know. Is it even on TradeView? Let's see. Is this the right coin? Raven coin here? Okay. Raven coin. Let's see here. 100. This actually isn't bad. It dipped below. Yeah, now it's hugging it more tightly. Yeah, because I was going to say, I was going to look at the depths at which it swings below, but ever since this was February, January of last year, when it was the greatest amount of space between the moving averages, but it's been holding it relatively close ever since, which is great. Let's see. You got resistance at 177, 166. So I would say be careful because it's not necessarily trending sideways. It's close. So it's just something to watch here, but it's not as dramatic as Shiba. What I would say, you want to be careful when you have coins that are doing lower highs on each cycle. So this is literally, these are small gaps, but it's still technically trending downward, right? Small steps, very hard to notice, but you want to be careful when you start when you see things like this, because it's not as dramatic with Shiba. But if you are in a down market, or if you're trending sideways, you want to see like a similar pattern, even if it repeats. So like in the case of like a Dogecoin, even if it's going between 15 and 30 cents, and even if it does that 10 times, that's better than it's hitting lower highs each time, because that's showing that it's not holding up, it's losing a little bit of momentum and volume each go around, and the momentum it's going to have to challenge ultimately this 176 level is getting weaker and weaker with each test. So you don't want to, you want to either maintain the same amount of strength, or or completely test it and fail, which is better than getting weaker on each retest. So even though those gaps are a little small, I will say that is a little alarming right now, but it's not so far out of whack that it can make it useless or anything like that, or say that okay, it's going to be a big gap or we're going to get a big move to the downside, because it is holding the averages relatively close. So if you are looking to make an entry on the downside, you're relatively close. So if you're going to make an entry, it's not any massive movements down. Again, it's just chipping away. So yeah, I'd say if it were me, I'd give it another go to see where is it going to get rejected at. And if it's another higher low, then I would just simply wait or not deal with it at all. So that's my 2 cents on Ravencoin. Hope you found that useful, Troy. Let's see here. Just keep buying more. So when you spend Doge, do you owe capital gains tax? When you spend Doge, do you owe capital gains and tax on the product? If you made money, and wherever you spend it at, if they charge tax, I'm sure they figured in there. But yeah, technically, if you execute the order and you're in profit, from what I understand, that would still be a capital gains tax. So it would be similar, just like money. You can't be like, oh, I invested 500,000, I made $1 million, but because I'm spending 100,000, that should be tax free. Like from what I understand, that's not how it works. So I will say yes. I'm not a CPA, so don't hold me to any of that. What to say about AMC? Oh, you missed. I did a whole spill on AMC, but yeah, AMC is great. I think that we're going to see some price action within this first quarter on it, so I'm excited for it. Proof of stake thoughts on Doge? Yeah, I think that some of the bigger brokerages are going to do something like that. Probably even Robinhood, just to try and keep people there. I did a poll. About 30% of people said they were going to leave. So I think that to make it attractive for people to stay on there, I think that a lot of brokerages are going to offer a proof of stake. So I think that it'll be something relatively common with Doge, depending on how expansive the utility is and how much, they'll determine how many people are actually going to actually engage with it. But I think that the utility, especially if it does what I think it will do this year, it's going to be expanding so much that a lot of people aren't actually going to be doing it. So that's a base case scenario, but we'll see. Nano X, Terry. Let's see. Over 1.2 billion worth of Doge shuffle around between wallets past 2 weeks, which has caused a lot of positive momentum on the Doge blockchain, and return helping the price of Doge spike, not just news of Tesla. Yeah, I've heard about the the pretty much the Dogecoin bouncing between like these wallets. But I know the biggest catalyst for this is with Tesla, because we've seen. Hold on, let me go back. Go back to Doge here. I have to look at the overall momentum here, but we haven't had. Let's see, when last time around December, those are much smaller with no rejection. So I have to check to see if we had some like around right before Christmas, that momentum. But before that, we this is the most green we've seen in a while. So maybe it was a really small back in November. But yeah, this is the most green we've seen in a while. So I have to check, but I know Tesla was a big part of it. And they can certainly move money around and try and get like some momentum that way. So it's definitely not um, out of place. But I know Tesla was a big part of it. So good deal, Jamie. Hi, David. Hello. Hello. How are you? Let's see. Would you rather have 10K in Doge right now or 24 at 24, or spend or spread put in some other layer ones, layer twos? Thanks, man. Um, I mean, because 24 isn't bad. Like, it's not, especially from where I think it's going to go. 24 is literally at the 200-day moving average. So if you were, I think that if you've been investing consistently in Doge over a period of a few months, that's somewhere where your DCA would be. So I think that, I would prefer, especially now with the way that this is reacting, I probably would, stay where I'm at, just because of the potential percentage. I do believe that if you say like a Bitcoin or Ethereum, I do believe that they're going to do absolutely amazing. But those numbers of percentages are going to be, those are big gap ups. And I do believe they're going to hit them. Don't get me wrong. But, from as we saw the power last night, a simple tweet with positive news saying that, okay, you now have more utility with this coin, you can get 30%. Getting a 30% on a $50,000 coin, not impossible, but it's going to take a lot more money, and more than likely not from retail. Last night, I believe that was mostly retail jumping into um, Dogecoin. So I'd probably say, depending on, especially if it's 10K, I'd probably just stay with Doge. Should I hold or sell when the next jump happens? I would need a lot more context. I don't tell people when to hold or sell. That's a lot of variables in there. I have no idea what your DCA is, longevity, leverage, how. It, I need more context. That's that's a loaded question. um, got into Doge at 0.002, not sold a single Doge at, staying long term. Yeah, man, you're way in the green. You're good. You are all set. Let's see. Um, hey, David, let me see you go live a lot lately. Love the channel. Disruption all 2022. Absolutely. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. You don't think they can keep shorting AMC for years? No, no, because they're doing a lot of things that they haven't done before. A lot of cash grabs have happened this year. A lot of sell-offs have happened this year. So I don't think that. I think it's a little worse than what we know about. So I won't say it will be for years, because they're already doing a lot of things that's technically out of character, especially in doing a market where the government's injecting money every month. So I say, it's a poker face, but they're hurting badder than they let on. So I don't think that it will happen uh, for a period of years. Let's see. Appreciate your wisdom, man. To the moon. Absolutely. I appreciate all of you. Um, let's see. Should I continue to buy Doge? I mean, yeah. I mean, that's a personal decision. Personal decision. I don't tell people necessarily buy and sell. I'll put like what I would be doing if I was interested in Doge. But at the same time, I don't know how you're playing it long term, short term, what your actual situation is. It's a lot of variables in there. Um, so there's a lot of decisions in there. So I can't tell you, how to play it. But if you're long term, you believe in the mission, the cause, then certainly, if you have conviction in your investment, then certainly hold on. That's all I was saying. Trying to say is since the beginning of the year, there's been multiple transactions on the Doge chain that has also helped spike the price of Doge, not just Tesla acceptance. No, I agree with that. Where do you see Shiba Inu by the end of this decade? Let's look at Shiba. You probably was not. I haven't looked at it since my last live. Shiba. Okay. Here we go. So 200-day moving average is obviously lower here. You're getting ready to actually, we're about to test it if it doesn't break above this. And this is what I was saying with the Raven coin and Shiba. This is these lower highs that I was telling you about. It's a lot more dramatic on Shiba, but Shiba needs to set up some resistance somewhere because this is literally falling. And it is, let's see, and then the last bit of pressure here was at the 5336, and it has not came close to retesting that. Really no. So we got let's see, some pressure here at 2943. But then the immediate next candle was also red. So we got a little sideways movement, then started the actual downtrend. So technically, this here would have triggered a upward movement, at least hopefully, but it did not. And you just had a positive green one, which was great, which would have indicated we were going to start heading upward, but then we literally started trending downward again. This is the alarming part that I was saying about this, and Shiba was saying that Shiba needs to set up some resistance here, and it's okay if it trends sideways. I would rather a coin or stock trend sideways for 6 months than to not be able to retest any of the higher lines. And every time that it does build momentum, it gets weaker and weaker, this is the case with Shiba. Momentum is getting weaker and weaker with each attempt at retest. So let's see here. Let's see if I can spread this out a little bit. So you peaked up here around 8705. Big candles get the downward pressure. And yeah, so literally, you have the sell off, which is expected. I expect things to sell off, but you'll literally see these rebuilds are extremely weak, and then it literally starts trending downward again. So for me, I would need to see, in order before I can even say that Shiba is not even going to do a full retrace, I'm going to need to see Shiba establish some support. And really, you're right here where the support technically is, and there is a bounce here. We'll see. We're still in the range here. Let me see. Put a marker here. So right here is where you should have got a bounce. So this is 2733, and you literally got a bounce here. What was this? A few days ago, which is great. That is literally your last line of defense before you fall into it, because these are literally gap ups. So this is like your last line of defense before Shiba falls into like an absolutely full retracement. So we'll have to kind of see how this plays out. But this pattern here is getting weaker and weaker. So that's very alarming. So if Shiba doesn't get some momentum, or this line doesn't hold up here, it's hard to say where Shiba is even going to be 6 months from now. So those catalysts that are coming, I know a lot of times people say that Shiba has some big catalysts. I'm not completely sure, but those catalysts and the community, they're going to have to make sure that they're doing their part to support that. Otherwise, looking at this chart, she was in trouble. So they did get a bounce, which is great because that's literally, again, that's the last line of defense here. So we'll see how this pattern plays out. But if this gets weaker and this is another lower high and you get another break to the downside, there's nothing here to catch Shiba. This is all. So that would literally, you'd be looking at, back down here. And this is why I say you're at risk of doing a full retracement. So I'd say for Shiba, the best thing to do would be to focus on like the next 6 months versus like the end of the decade, because that pattern is very alarming. So it's possible Shiba wouldn't, it just depends. And, you can't chart community. So I can't say that, it's down and out, but the charts don't look good. So, you never know, something can happen, major partnership or something, and Shiba could literally start rebounding. It's solely possible. It's crypto, but looking at the charts, doesn't look good. Let's talk some Doge line. Quick to lose some ones or 2 zeros. I have a video on it. I posted it in the chat earlier. Look at my top 5. I'll post it here again because it's still saved. But yeah, so Doge line is in my top 5 to do a pump this year, depending on the market, of course. So not necessarily something I'd be long in, but it has the opportunity to do a pump and generate some quick cash. So I think that this will, there's be an opportunity to, generate some money. So what's up, everyone? Hello, Anthony. How are you? Oh, I haven't said this in a while. If you're new here, hit the like button. And also, if you want to hear more TA from me, I literally do this every day. Feel free to subscribe. You can always change your mind later. Let's see. Everybody, please, David, just ignore Shiba. It's not worth talking about. The Dogecoin killer. Are you with Doge or are you with Shiba? You can't do both. As far as my long-term position, Dogecoin is one of them. But I'm not. When I do like Shiba, it's just generally to cover like people's questions and stuff like that. But as far as for me, I cover Dogecoin and stuff like that a lot because I know that there was a void for people even actually knowing how to do correct TA and stuff like that in the market. But if you look at my channel and look at even some of the plays that I called a couple years ago, you'll see that they're all doing relatively well. I invest in the market, not just Dogecoin, or I didn't create a YouTube channel to talk about Dogecoin. I actually know how to invest. So when you say that, you can't do both, I'm not necessarily looking to do both, but I'll never own one crypto. I'll never be, just a lot of things that I know better than to, over leverage in a coin or only own one crypto or something like that. I don't think that Shiba is superior to Doge or anything like that. But as far as for ignoring it, I think that I would be doing a disservice to people by not answering these questions when I know that people have money in there and I do have the opportunity to help them, which is one of the reasons why I want to do additional TA on there, because, I do have options in Apple and Microsoft, and I own, some of the oil industry and all the lines that were down over the last few years. So I don't want to be misleading and just be like, oh, well, it's only Dogecoin when I make money a bunch of other different ways. So as far as we're doing both, I don't think that you should limit your portfolio in any kind of way based off of emotions, because if you look at that chart there, that green, the red, those green and red lines, they care nothing about emotions. Neither does business, institutions, your retirement, none of that kind of stuff. So I understand where you're coming from, because I was, when I first started out, I would be like that as well. I have my favorite companies and I'm an Apple junkie and all that kind of stuff like that. The market is emotionless. So those are my reasonings for covering it. But I will say, just going forward, just my tidbit of advice to you is to not get hung up so much more like on the emotions or like who said what, and more so just look at the market for what it is, which is opportunities. So I hope that helps. Let's see here. Should I buy right now or the weekend? Please help, averaging at 22.4. It really depends on how you plan it. If you're long term, coin count is going to matter most, in my opinion. So I can't say, don't buy, because at the end of the day, some coins at 22 and Dogecoin goes to, let's just say 74 cents, the previous all-time high. Some coins at 22 are better than no coins at any price. So, it just really depends on how long you plan on being in the position. But coin count is going to matter most. So, time in market versus timing the market. So, just kind of, just keep that in mind. But this weekend, it's looking like we're going to test. Let me go back to Dogecoin here. But again, it's looking like we're going to it's based off of the history. It's looking like this is our run to go test this 33, 34 cent line. So, while we're below your DCA, you might want to strike, especially, going forward, anything below it technically is, a plus, because you are working toward averaging it down. It really just depends on how much money you have to inject. But at the same time, it really just depends. But if you're long term, coin count is going to matter most. So, that would be priority number one. Let's see. Let's see. Your videos are causing the pump. Just kidding. Thanks again for your hard work. No. Yeah, no, not my videos. Not my videos. I'll put Dogecoin $5 and then give you the actual breakdown of how that happens. Like, I know there's a lot of people that put to the moon on there with no explanation on how it's going to make that happen. But everybody, there's a place for everyone. So Shiba made me money today. Congratulations. Let's see. Personal choice for the past year. I've been 100% Dogecoin, not ready to divide. Yeah, I understand. Hey, everybody, everybody has, you have to play the hand that you're dealt. So everybody, has the right to play their portfolio how they feel, how they see fit. So, again, I've been doing this for a few years, so it's not, I wasn't in a position to like just liquidate everything and move into a particular coin or anything like that. So, everyone has the right to play their portfolio how they see fit. So, like you said, it's a personal choice. So, and at the same time, what was it last year? Walking around like December, I did a post. Dogecoin did over 11,000%. So, technically, we're looking at like almost like asset of the year. So, sometimes it only takes one. Hello, my Doge tribe. Buckle up and prepare for takeoff this year. Absolutely. Currently, I'm invested into both Doge and Shiba. Doge is to Bitcoin and Shiba is to Ethereum. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure what you mean by Doge is to Bitcoin, Shiba is to Ethereum. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. But, some people own both. Like, it's not, I'll never come on here and tell you not to buy something, or I'll just say I'm not long in it. That's about as far as I'll go. Or I'll say something along the lines of the charts don't look good. That's as far as that. You can decipher that however you want. I never tell people not to. I'll never say you're wrong or anything like that. That's completely your business. But hey, some people own both. It's not at the end of the day, some people are innovators and they're going to say, okay, we're here because we want to see, Dogecoin do this and become cryptocurrency of the earth. And then some other people are going to come here and be like, I don't care about Doge or Sheep specifically. I just want to make money. And there's people on both sides of that. So and whatever can help them make money, that's what they're for. So it's nothing, you got to play that to your benefit. So I'm not going to say you're wrong, but you can certainly be in both. And I'm not sure what you mean by Doge is to Bitcoin. So you can clarify that. Probably better answer that. David, your thoughts on CoinKid's TA of Doge to $1.91? I haven't seen it, so I have to see kind of like what measuring sticks he's using. I mean, Doge, especially if we, which I do believe we're going to reclaim our space back into top 10. The market's going to expand, right? So I believe that when we peaked at 3.3 trillion last year, that's not going to be the end of it. I believe that we're going to have a $5 trillion crypto market, $10 trillion crypto market. So a lot of these numbers, which are going to mean Doge is going to have, a $250 billion evaluation and stuff like that. It may seem like a lot now, but the market is going to expand. And so when you have these coins and stuff like that in the top 10, they're going to have to expand with it or move down. And I think that with Doge is going in the right direction to expand with the market. So $1.91 is not like out of the realm of possibility anyway, but I have to look at his chart and stuff like that to see what led to that conclusion. But I'm not just mathematics and the catalyst alone. That's certainly within reason. I don't know the time frame that he gave on that, but it's certainly within reason, though. Let's see. David, let's see. What do you think about Gemini 3.78%? I know I should be holding on exchange, but I'm long term. I have a hardware wallet, but I feel like 3.7% is good. It's hard to pass up. DPY. Again, nothing wrong with collecting your interest and all that kind of stuff. I just personally, this is my opinion, this is for me, I wouldn't have all of my coins on there. You can certainly, again, it doesn't have to be so black and white where it's like one or the other. And I think I'm probably going to say this a few times tonight. You can do both. It's okay. But for me, I wouldn't have all of my coins on there. So, you do the math and just, decide, I don't know how many coins you got, just decide how many you want to keep, kind of like off the market, off the books, and, roll with it and collect interest on the rest. Not a big deal. Let's see, my average is 5 cents. Should I buy or sell? Let's see. There's always going to be a new crypto coin. It sure is. Those things are popping up like weeds. Let's see. I look at like Buffett says on diversification. I don't know these other coins. I do Dogecoin. Don't need to divide my position to hedge against ignorance. Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very familiar with that quote. I am very familiar. And that is in my series, because I'm going to do a series for just new investors and stuff on the channel. That's one of the things that I go over, how important it is to go deep versus wide. Because I don't own a lot of cryptos, but I'm deep on the ones that I do own. I don't own a lot of stocks, but I'm deep on the ones that I do own. So I would rather have, 5 good cryptos, 5 good stocks versus 30. So I agree with this completely. This is actually one of my favorite quotes. Because technically when I was starting out, especially when you don't have like that much money to put in, you have $3,000 and they're like, buy quality, and you're going to get what, 1 share of Amazon? Like, hell, you're never going to make money that way, even though technically their stock is quality, but you got this other stock over here that's like $5 and you get a $2 swing on it or something like that. You're in business, but it's just preference of how you want to play. But I agree with this completely. Let's see. You've never been right about anything. Lies. There's a whole bunch of it on my community section. And I even put the videos and the timing on it. I don't know I don't know. Well, it's a little, let's see, it's Saturday. So I don't know. Still a little early to be drinking though. But again, I've put a bunch of the things I have been right about on my community section. I'll never claim to be 100% because again, I'd be a trillionaire and there are no such thing as a trillionaire on the planet. So I'm assuming nobody is 100%. But again, definitely a little early to be drinking. Let's see. I think we're gonna break the 20s Monday when the market opens Monday. Doge is undervalued and oversold. Despite there being red in most coins last 2 days, Doge has maintained green, very bull. Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree with that. Markets will be closed on Monday. Yeah, they sure will. I made so much money watching David. Thank you. I appreciate it. Great needs attention. There you go. Yeah, I forget there's a meme that it says with your hands open and it has attention written in the hands. Like, oh my God. Thanks, want to do it. No problem. Yeah, the stock market is closed. Yeah, crypto market. Well, I don't know. Well, we'll see. It depends on how bullish we get. We may have some unscheduled maintenance. No, I'm just kidding. But it really just depends. Dogecoin hits around 30 cents or so. We may have some maintenance going on here. Let's see. Tesla. Amazon is undervalued. Also going to be the one to survive. No, I'm bullish on Amazon. I don't think that Amazon is going to go anywhere. Amazon has its niche like in a chokehold. Like it is. I live in Atlanta, so I come from like a very small town in Florida, and I've seen their little drones and their little robotic cars and stuff like that. They'll come drop off. Amazon is doing what it's supposed to when it comes to innovation. So, I think that Amazon is going to be just fine long term. Let's see. Understand, but we all know Bitcoiners will dump their coins to buy Dogecoin, not Ethereum, not XP, and of course not Shiba. Not talking from the emotional side here. Time travel is a fact and real. No, I agree. I think that Bitcoin has settled into its niche as being the cryptocurrency, like the gold cryptocurrency. And I think that, the digital gold. Oh my God. And I think that Dogecoin, with what we're doing with utility and stuff, I think that we're going to position ourselves to go to the digital dollar. So, and as you know, gold and a dollar, they always have that little tinkering back and forth. So I agree with that completely. That actually aligns with history, that statement. So I agree with that completely. Let's see, unscheduled maintenance. Yeah, I'm telling you, there's always unscheduled maintenance right after. I'm not going to say always because I don't want to get caught up in any foolishness. Allegedly, there's usually some if we get a really big run, and depending on what coin it's in, if it's Bitcoin, that's fine, because that's institutions own Bitcoin. Bitcoin can run to $100,000. That is okay. Now, let Doge double or triple. Oh my God, we got maintenance. The servers are going to crash, and there's a fire in the office. It's all types of stuff like that. So but we know what's up. Those of us that have been here for a while, we know what's up. So. I personally believe David Israel doesn't BS like 99% of other channels. Thank you. I appreciate it. Maintenance, seen that shit too many times. I'm telling you, it comes out every time. I went to Atlanta to see Britney Spears in like 2008. Yeah, I just seen she went viral the other day for her pictures. To keep Doge raising, we need to give us used to the coin. Elon's giving us an opportunity to do that, and Doge raising to the moon. Absolutely. we need to definitely take advantage of these catalysts that are in front of us. So I think that we've done a lot this past couple of days to kind of show what we can expect going forward. So I'm very excited about that. Let's see what's going to happen when the Tesla phone comes out. That'll be exciting. I've heard some rumors about that. So and I mentioned this like a few weeks ago because I know that Apple is making their I won't say smart car, but their electric car, which is technically coming into like Tesla's realm. So I think that'll be really interesting from a competitive standpoint to see Tesla kind of like, okay, well, if Apple is coming into the car industry, we're going to go into the phone industry. So especially as Tesla is building out its brand. So I think that'll be very, very interesting. But I'm very bullish on Apple as well. Just want to put that out there. And if Apple comes out with this car and its customer service is anything like the Apple Store and they maintain that level at repair shops and stuff like that, that's going to be tough to beat. Tough to beat. That's like Apple has when it comes to tech, Apple has like Chick-fil-A kind of service. So it's amazing. So we'll see. Hello, how are you? Welcome to Atlanta, where David's playing. I like that song. Let's see. I was there with the pending Doge sell at Robinhood at 7 cents. They shut it off, but gave me my money in about an hour. I bought back in at 4 cents. Yeah, Robinhood gave some money back to people last year that couldn't execute their orders. So, that shut-off switch is real. That shut-off switch is real. So, yeah, Lucid. I heard about Lucid. Lucid, we'll see. Because I know Apple definitely is going to have a big advantage coming in. I don't know if Tesla necessarily has an advantage with the phones coming in, but I do know with simply the size of Apple and how many people are Apple fanatics and their loyalty to the brand. I do know that Apple has a significant advantage coming into the auto industry. Because there are some people, just like they refuse to use an Android phone, they refuse to use a PC. There are some people who are going to convert that loyalty to cars. And when that Apple car comes out, they will never drive another car again. It will only be the Apple car. So they can, and I'm sure it's going to have little perks where you can use your Apple, start syncing everything up. So I'm pretty sure people are going to convert that kind of loyalty. Do you think Tesla is going to get a stock split? More than likely. Let me take a look here because I exercised my options when Tesla went over 1,000. So, which we still are. Historically, the split happens roughly when we are at around 1,000, and we've been holding it for a while now. We did a little dip down, but for the most part, we've been holding it. So I can say we'll probably do another. If I had to guess, sorry, I'm gonna put this up here so everybody knows what I'm talking about. But as far as the Tesla doing a stock split, if I had to guess, we'll probably look at what was it? Like another 4-to-1 split. So maybe like a 250. Maybe it'll go down to like 250. Do another 4-to-1 split. So, but historically, I believe that we will see a split sometime this year. So, but we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. One guy just won 33,000 from Robinhood for that reason. Sight down, and he lost a lot, not being able to trade in that moment. Right? Yeah. Do you think? A lot of times people try to execute those orders, and they hit the switch. You end up getting screwed. And that's one of the things too. That's people on here that's in AMC. And I've been telling people a lot, you're going to have to know the difference between limit orders and market orders, because you put that thing in there and whether or not they hit the switch and they simply don't execute that order, it can be a big gap between where you sell and where that order executes. Especially if you're shooting for like a stock, a squeeze play or something like that. You hit sell at 1,000 and it doesn't execute until 300. you're going to be sick. That's what I was telling some of my my patrons and stuff. I was like, because if I sell at 1,000 and it doesn't execute till like 250 or 300, like something inside of me is like going to start bleeding. Like I'll just start like internally bleeding at all the money I lost. I would just randomly start coughing up blood because I just couldn't handle it. So that's one of the reasons why I'm not doing any limit orders, trying to time that kind of stuff. Like I'm just literally going to sell. I want market order execute right now. I'm not waiting on any of your tricky business. So yeah, absolutely right. As far as for them hitting those switches. Let's see. 10 years at Amazon, I thought a split would happen. Amazon is probably going to split at some point. I believe that Amazon is going to split. I believe that Amazon is going to do dividends. They don't really have to right now, but I believe all of those things are going to happen at some point. So it's kind of got to be patient with it. But as of right now, I think Amazon kind of likes being like the heavyweight. Of course, you can always do fractional now, so it's not as big a deal as it was, like a few years ago. So, but I do believe that it will split at some point, and it'll probably even offer dividends because they certainly have the means to do so. When do I think Doge will hit $1? It's possible. It depends on how this year goes. It's not impossible, but I have to see how Q1 ends with the Fed. And if we do pretty good over the summer as far as for holding line and get some retest, hopefully at around that 33 cents level, I think it'll put us in great position for the launches and stuff later this year. So I would like to see, I'd like to see us, kind of test like that mid-range, which technically like 33, 34. It's like roughly halfway. I like to see us test it before I say we're going to hit like $1. But if we do, we can certainly get relatively close this year. But I do think we're going to have some sell-offs as well. So it's kind of up in the air. But if the momentum is big enough, it won't matter. We can have like those big candles and literally start riding it up. But I would like to say probably within like the next 18 months, if we don't have like a major correction in the market due to the Feds. Elon predicted, he said he expects a recession either this year, spring or summer, but no later than next year. And I don't know if he's talking about the money that the Fed injected that they're going to have to get back. But if that happens, then, you can expect that break to the downside. So, we'll see. But on a good note, it's possible, I'd say, probably this year. What's my thoughts on CCE, Cloud Coin? Let me see here. Not coming up. CCE. See. Not coming up here. Let me see. I'll try another one. Maybe Coin Market Cap. Let's see. Okay, I found it on Coin Market Cap. Let me see. I'm starting to switch over here. I don't have all the fancy tools on here, but I can give you. What the hell is this? Oh my God. Oh Jesus. Okay. I mean, looking at this, just because entry wise, you're not in a bad position now, but just because of the volatility of this, I'm going to tell you straight up, I wouldn't touch this. This is there's a lot of risk there, but looking at the entry wise, yeah, you can possibly make one now, but these are all gap. There's like no support like anywhere. You have like these bounces, but this is technically a gap up. You have some resistance here, but oh my god, this is yeah. I gotta be honest with you, man. I've literally never said this. Like it's, but again, do what you want. I wouldn't touch that right now. I mean, unless you're just really optimistic, or if you want to put some money in there and kind of see what happens. Anything can happen. But man, I that looks kind of sketchy to me. I wouldn't put like a significant amount of money in there. So if I were you, but technically speaking, entry wise now, it's not necessarily a bad position. Thanks for the comments. We're coding Tesla bots to make Dogecoin #1 options all around the world. Absolutely. Yeah. So you said we are coding. Yeah. But do you work at Tesla or something? Uh, Dogecoin #1 option, but yeah, I think that Dogecoin is going to literally expand crazy, and we're going to have opportunity to make Dogecoin the literally the internet currency of the world. So I think that that's going to be a positive catalyst for Dogecoin. I say all I know is I'm tired of the dead zones while using iPhones, where Tesla is supposed to eliminate this issue, which would be a sell for me. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that could be Tesla's selling point. Hey, we're going to use some of our satellites, and they could be like no dead zone anywhere. So that could be a selling point. Elon's a brilliant man. We're going to see, what their niche is, because it's certainly a competitive market. And technically speaking, um, as far as popularity wise and stuff like that, I guess they're a direct competitor with the fame of the actual CEO, because you have like Cook and Elon and stuff like that. Technically these CEOs, they're not just CEOs, they're, relatively famous, especially in the phone industry. Like if you say, most people know who Elon Musk is, or, Tim Cook and stuff like that. But if you're like, hey, who's the CEO of T-Mobile? Who's the CEO of AT&T? Like what? Like, they definitely have competitive advantages here. So, I'm really excited to see how this works out, because, you know, that celebrity advantage is definitely an advantage when it comes to attracting markets and stuff. They're worried they will see me more now, and he won that case. Yep. Robinhood's good. I think Robinhood's good buy at $15. Uh, let's see. So with Robinhood, let me see, because I know Robinhood's been like declining. I bought the IPO when it dipped down, and then I sold at around like 50. Let me go back to trading view. This is not my ideal chart here. Robinhood's handle. Oh, hood, obviously, duh. Yeah. Oh, this is nasty. This is the nastiest chart I've looked at. I haven't looked at Robinhood because I knew Robinhood. I thought that people were going to short it. So, but I knew that they were going to have enough hype to kind of pressure to shoot it up at first. So that's why I took that gamble at getting the right when the IPO came out. But this is nasty. Oh my God, Robinhood. This is like you can literally go skiing down this thing. Oh my God. I wouldn't touch this right now. This is um saying it's like, is it a good buy at $15? I would not touch that thing. That is a nasty slide. Um, yeah. Personally, if I had to guess, I'd say no. Again, I do what you want if you're optimistic on it or whatever, but that is nasty. That's like catching a falling knife right there. I'm going to need to see some. I'm going to need to see Robinhood fight back. Like this is, if this is a fight, Robinhood's getting killed. So I'm going to need to see some effort from Robinhood before I say I'm going to put my money on you. Let's see. Do you think AMC is going to come back? I do. I do. See, Doge one going to October is the biggest blue balls tease that I can't afford right now. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great. I don't know. I'm excited for that, especially putting it down there because I know we have a lot of turnover and stuff in the market around that time. So I think that'll be a great catalyst for Dogecoin. So if we're lucky, kind of like what we have now, even if the market is in a downtrend and we have something like that major happens and Dogecoin breaks green and starts going the other way, that would be a real exciting time. So people love green in a red market. It's kind of like a lighthouse. So hopefully you can kind of attract some new money there. What's the highest that Doge will get? Hard to say. Good day from Sydney, Australia. How are you? T-Mobile kicking my ass. It's been dropping like a rock. Yeah. Let's see. You can search it on YouTube. Let's see. Thanks for all the great information you give to the community. It's helped me tremendously. Thanks. No problem. You want me to take a look at AMC? Okay. Let's take a look. I've been trying not to follow the line so closely just because I know that AMC I firmly believe the manipulation there has been ungodly. But so it's just I try to define it because I know looking at the chart, you can be like, okay, this is a bad deal. But because I know of what's going on and just based off of the information that I have as far as for the people holding the float and stuff like that, it's just mathematically impossible that they should have even been able to drop AMC, let alone that it is even at these levels. But I get it. So just from a charting perspective, this is it's bad, but you have lower highs here, some resistance, you have the major push downs here, so a lot of shorts come in. And these are obviously shorts. That is a hell of a slap. That resistance there is huge. But so technically speaking, with this wick, let me zoom in here. With the size of this wick here, this thing should have fell off a cliff. But obviously the apes and the pressure and stuff that came in, they still kind of got it to, kind of push back so that there's some fight there. But looking at a chart here, I just know that fundamentally, if 80% of the shares are being held and you are at, let's say, $60, it's mathematically impossible for you to cut that stock in half by over 60% with 20% of the shares. So mathematically, there's some funny business here, which is why I don't like looking at AMC on the chart. It does not make sense to me. I know that that's BS, unless somebody's lying. Either the hedge funds are lying or Adam is lying. One of the two. But mathematically, I know numbers can be manipulated, but they do not lie. So that makes no sense to me. So that's one of the reasons why I don't necessarily like charting it. But if we're going to take the charts at face value here, with the amount of low volume that we have, and again, I checked the shares earlier today. There's about 6 million shares to borrow, if I'm not mistaken. So they can definitely get us another break to the downside here next week, which is what I think they're trying to do. I think they're trying to get us to around like 15, 16 bucks. And they're going to drop those shares and really try and send this to hell to get people out as much as possible so they can kind of, cover and stuff like that. And I do think you'll get like that spring going forward once they hit their magical number. But, looking at this, you're going to have to do more observant TA than actually looking at the chart because this chart it's nasty and it's definitely BS as far as for how we're even how do you even go from what is this $60 down to $20 with the stock that's held 80%? How do you take 20% of a stock and bring it down from 64 to 20? Like, That's the main reason I don't look at uh, AMC. GameStop here. I don't chart it as heavily, but I know that there's still definitely some shorts in here, and they typically trend together. So AMC, I expect the AMC to get slapped down pretty hard. So I would expect GameStop to go down pretty hard as well. And as you can see here, it's probably like 8 consecutive red candles here. So I'm expecting GameStop to get a breakdown. It has technically held up better than, was this the 1 year? Yeah, better than AMC. Because it's actually come up and tested some of these previous highs, like at least a few times, and even coming close. And now you're getting that breakdown to the downside, basically trending down with AMC. So I consider that a W to some degree, but I expect those two to kind of run together. So I wouldn't count on AMC GME having a run without AMC. I think that when AMC goes, a lot of the ones around the market that are that they need to cover on, I think a lot of them are going to go relatively soon. Thanks for answering my question. No problem. No problem. Let's make sure I'm answering. Sorry, I'm just a little behind on all these questions. Hey, I really appreciate how real you are, never baiting for attention, just giving educational thoughts and opinions. Absolutely. Yeah, it's not, I just try to be like my authentic self. I think it's easier for me to produce content, which is why I don't put the like the cartoon faces and stuff like that in thumbnails. I'm more monotone. I tried it like twice and I felt like an idiot. So if you go look at some of my videos from like early, like last year, probably even 2019, you'll see like 2 or 3 times where I actually did that. And I felt like an idiot. And I was like, I'm never doing that again. It's not me. Like, so if, regardless of the content, if I put out great stuff, hopefully people will relate to it. If not, then it just won't be for me. But I'm not doing that. I'm subscribing to your channel. You're very smart. Thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yeah. So yeah, definitely. If you haven't yet, and if you found value in anything I've said, please consider subscribing. I'm going to try and put out as much value as I can, and then hopefully I can hit 40,000 subs by the end of Q1. So hopefully. AMC, GME, any chance of going back up? Yeah, I believe they're both manipulated. So I think they're going to run. So I don't have an issue with them at all, even in their current prices. Doge to $1. Yeah, absolutely. Doge going to the moon, baby. What do I think about baby Dogecoin? I made a video a while back on baby Dogecoin, comparing it to Dogecoin, and I said a lot of things in there, and I never published it because I don't want to, because I felt like that would kind of be like steering, and I try not to. I don't, because the thing about it, can baby Dogecoin make money? Yeah, anything that the community support can make money. But personally, I try and stay away from coins that build their momentum so closely attached to something else. And I understand because there's another guy here I spoke to because he was saying that about sheep, and I was saying that, okay, don't let your emotions get into it. And outside of the emotional side of it, I have to say, okay, what's the actual value of this coin? So not that I'm not angry at it or whatever the case may be, but I do know that the reason that a lot of these coins are even on the radar or have momentum is because of naming. So, kind of like if I opened up a baby Walmart or a little Amazon or something like that, I'd be sued into oblivion before I even make it to the market. I probably wouldn't even make it to the market. Their lawyers would be like, yeah, you're not doing that. So, and I have to say that, okay, what is my competitive advantage? So if you're watching my videos, I have 3 things that before I invest in a coin or anything like that for the long term, which is going to be leadership, competitive advantage, utility, like uniqueness and stuff like that. that falls into like that area. But those three are going to have to be there. And if there's no competitive advantage, there's not necessarily any leadership, and it's not unique, then I consider it a cash grab, and I invest when I say that, okay, I'm going to lose. It's a potential that I'm going to lose all of my money. So baby Dogecoin is something I would stay away from, but I mean, you can make money on it. That's the thing. It's crypto market's still new. I see a lot of communities and stuff like that being built. If the community gets large enough, it's going to rally. Personally, I don't see, it's a lot of opportunity out here now. So, if I get like a lot of extra money, when I start throwing it around, then I'll start, looking at some more riskier activities. But as of right now, I don't see a reason for me to pursue something like baby Dogecoin. Let's see. Thank you, Al. I saw that you just became a member of the channel, so I appreciate you. Oh, and just to let you guys know, there's going to be a free Discord. It's going to be called Disruption Group Public. I plan on releasing it within like the next day or so. So, if you guys want to join there, I believe that most of the people that watch my channel, they are, I believe that we're technically in like the top 1% on YouTube. I believe in you guys heavily. So I think that it'll be beneficial if we all had a place to kind of like, come together and share ideas. So I'll be making that announcement in the community section within the next day or so. So if you are following my channel and that's something you're interested in, just make sure your notifications are on, and I'll be looking for mods as well. So I have no idea how many people are actually going to join, but I already have a lot to do. So I'm not going to sign up to be completely in charge of like watching the group. So outside of that, if you're interested in being a mod, just kind of like let me know. I extend it technically to members first, but if you guys need help, if you guys want to help, just let me know. We'll go from there. Let's see. Dogecoin counting one Doge translates communication, transportation, goods, entertainment under a global decentralized economy. Yeah, I'm telling you, like it's going to be, especially as because I think that the longer we have this record inflation and stuff like that, I think the better, the more Doge is going to stick out. So I think Doge, especially for like the next year or so, as the Fed try and combat all this money that they injected, I think Doge is going to do pretty amazing. I think Doge is going to do pretty well. So I'm excited about it. Everyone I know sold their sheep for Doge. Yeah, I know a lot of times people have moved, especially with these catalysts coming out, because now you have to think we got even bigger catalysts coming out than this. This is a big one, but it's not the biggest. So I'm very optimistic for Doge coming out here. Whatever happened to the ebook? I'm almost done. I keep changing it, and I'm actually going to change it to an e-guide, and I'll do like the book for later, because I wanted it to be, I didn't want to turn it into like a documentary, because I'm typically very blunt anyway, especially if I don't do charts. I can do my videos probably in like 8 to 10 minutes. So I wanted to make sure that I'm honoring my no fluff approach. So the book is it's in its like final stages, and I'm going to say it have to be edited, but it's still going to be free. And I'll have some announcements on that hopefully by the end of January. I'm going to have that out. So, but I haven't forgot about the book, and I've just simply added a bunch of stuff and taken a bunch of stuff out. So, just so, because technically I want it to align with the series of videos that I'm going to put out. I'll have them in the book, so that technically I can put like a link in there, like in the ebook, so you can click on it and go to the video, and we can kind of like do some charts and stuff together there. I think that'll kind of be beneficial. So, still coming out though, so I haven't forgot about it. Nothing's changed, just delayed, not denied. See, I'm so happy I stumbled across your channel, David. Thank you. No, I'm glad to have you here. I'm glad you stumbled here too. I'm really glad you stumbled here too. So yeah, so for those of you that are new and that are stumbling across my channel, if you want to hear more from me, definitely stumble and hit the subscribe button or like button. We do this like every day. So Thanks, David. You're a great teacher. Thank you, Susan. I appreciate you. Any coins that come out the Doge attached to it is very badly investment, people. Only reason they're in business is because of Dogecoin. Yeah, I'm not, like, once we get some laws in the crypto market, a lot of this stuff is going to go away. And this is one thing I tell people overall when you say that I'm in a coin and it's long term and we're going to go to the moon and this stuff like that. Ask yourself, why do you know about this coin? What is the competitive advantage of this coin? And I'm not saying, because there's several coins that are going to be able to coexist, but when you say, okay, what's the next 5 years, 10 years look like? When when the crypto market is going to expand, but you're also going to have a consolidation where the leaders of the cryptocurrency kind of are going to emerge. Like, we know that Coca-Cola is the leader of the soda industry, right? Soda, pop, whatever you want to call it. So if you have an opportunity to catch Coca-Cola on the ground floor, do you invest in Coca-Cola or do you go chasing Mellow Yellow? You know, if you're smart, you're going to invest in Coca-Cola and say that, okay, well, this is my opportunity here. But, but Mellow Yellow has its place. Don't get me wrong. So, it really just depends, up to you, but I think that, that's one of the questions you kind of have to ask yourself, because the crypto market is in its infancy stages. So I think that a lot of us, probably not even myself, realize the magnitude of which we have the opportunity that we have here. So, just kind of like ask yourself that, 5-10 years from now, is my coin even going to exist? And if so, what are the catalysts for it? What is its uniqueness? What is the competitive advantage? What's the leadership that's going to get us there? So because laws and regulation are coming to the crypto market. You can believe that. Laws and regulation are coming to the crypto market. So, your Dogecoin wife and Dogecoin's little stepbrother, and like all these other coins and stuff like that. A lot of these coins are going to go away. So, just gotta be careful where you're sinking your money. We believe in you too. Just a few short months I've been watching. You have grown so much, and adding all these things shows your effort, which we get to so much support. Oh yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to do. Like, as long as you guys are finding value and finding use in the things that I do, I'll invest time into it. So that's one of the the reasons I don't make Dogecoin $200 videos and $1,000 Dogecoin videos and stuff like that. Because ironically, like 5 years from now, so like that, a lot of people are going to have to answer for some of that stuff that they put out. And so, when I take a look at the charts and I do TA and I do mathematics and I explain, okay, this is what it takes for Dogecoin to hit $5 under these circumstances and stuff like that, I feel comfortable that, 5-10 years from now, I'm going to have to answer that. And these people that are putting in $1,000 Dogecoin videos, which is more than the entire GDP of the planet, you're going to have to answer for these things. So I just try and be careful when I put out there, so that people do take me seriously, and you guys are actually able to find use when you say, oh, that's a video by David. It's worth it to invest 8-10 minutes or so to look at and see what he has to say about what's going on, versus, oh my God, he posted another video. Why hasn't his channel got deleted yet? So that's the kind of response that I want to get. I want to get a positive response when you see a video from me. So I appreciate all of you guys that support me. Michelle, you're gonna love it here. Thank you. Yo, Mitch. Oh my God. I appreciate you, James. Thank you. Let's see. David, thoughts of LRC. Let's take a look here. Hopefully it's on TradingView. LRC. Okay. Similar pattern with all of this, that where the money is flowing out of the market. This is, you see the same pattern. It's dipping well below the 21-day, the 50-day, Not showing any signs of slowing down, honestly. But again, that's to be expected because right around the 8th, 9th of November, we see these gap ups, which is no support here. Massive momentum coming in. On the way down, you can, whenever you see giant candles like this on the way down, you can expect that to be a slide or like a little slip and slide at Wet and Wild. You know, you're going downhill fast, which is what's happening on here. You see you have the lower highs after each retest or each momentum, you'll see that it's actually getting weaker. You do have, this is extremely weak support, but it is some here at like $1.82. I wouldn't count on it, but you have some here. So hopefully you get a bounce. And then if not, again, you have more gap ups right here. So you can expect a similar pattern here. So more than likely, if nothing happens here at around this dollar, you know, if it doesn't pump the brakes here at around like $1.16 to $1.20, you're looking at a full retracement. And retracement means it's probably going to go back to the land from which it came, which is around, what is this, 40 cents. So you have a brief chance here to catch this, and if not, it's going to slide back. It's going to finish doing its moonwalk back down to around 40 cents. Let's see. Stay awake, drink water. Stay awake, drink water. Do you see Shiba Inu losing steam after not getting the same catalyst that Doge is receiving? Yeah, I pulled up the Shiba chart. I know this video is like this is the longest I've ever done a live in my life, by the way. But I'm normally out of here in like an hour, but you know, as long as you guys are here, so tonight's good. So I'll keep going for a while. But I did a chart on Shiba earlier. Shiba's not looking good, man. Even without the catalyst and stuff like that, just the overall pattern that Shiba is forming, not looking good. Shiba is doing. All right, I'll do this. I'll do this one. I know people are coming in and out, so I'll do Shiba one more time and show you that Shiba is in trouble. Okay. So Shiba here, we have literally the same thing, lower highs, each retest. You had a little momentum here, but a strong rejection at around 5.4. And again, with each build, it's getting weaker and weaker. So that's why you have this downward slope here with the lower highs with each retest. Very bad sign. You do have some momentum here, and this is the line here that I put earlier, that it was expected that it would get a bounce around like 2809 or so. And it did. This is great. This bounce here. So Shiba, if this, like Shiba doesn't have to rally right now. Shiba can go sideways, but it needs to build some support, because if not, these are gap ups. Same thing that I was saying with LCD. If you know, there's nothing to catch it here. You saw what happened. See, these are the same. This is the same thing. These are gap ups. When you have gap ups, that's massive momentum coming in, FOMO coming in. FOMO leaves almost as quickly as it comes in. So when you see these big candles, that's no support. Again, consider that like a slide. So if this support line here doesn't hold up, Shiba is going back to the land from which it came, which is going to do a full retracement. So it got a bounce here, which it should have based off of the support, which is great. If you guys are wanting to hold on to Shiba, the question is, what will it do now? So again, it doesn't have to rally. It doesn't have to come back up here and retest the the 5432. It doesn't have to do that. It can simply start trending sideways and build up some support. That would be beneficial. But if it gets another sell-off and a breakdown, then you're looking at a full retracement. So so Shiba, even outside of it losing steam, it is, you know, again, it's doing that moonwalk to go back to where it came. So it's not even just about losing steam. The overall chart, because Dogecoin's chart, let me go back to Doge so that you can see here. Doge holds its own without catalyst. So even if Doge is just sitting here and you do the 1 year, so you have the breakdown and you see, okay, well, the resistance here as far as for timing, and all of them have done this, this similar kind of like lower high, even though this is relatively close. I did a coin like it before, but you see that it pretty much holds its own within like a 2 cent range. And then it usually builds up the momentum, because you'll see it swings below the 21-day, 50-day moving average, comes up above it, does a test, swings below, comes up above it, does a test. So which is around that 33-cent range. So Dogecoin, like as far as for the health of it, even without a catalyst, this is why I say that, okay, Dogecoin's in a great position, because even without a catalyst, Doge will swing below its moving averages, but it'll come up and it'll test the exact same spot with no catalyst. And then it'll get rejected, it'll go down, do its retreat, build up momentum, come back, and it does another test, which is where we are now. This is looking like the third time we dip below. Once we break up above this moving average, we'll know we're well on our way, and we're going to come back up and test this 33-cent moving average. So we have to hit this 22, around this 24, I say 24 cents roughly. We have to surpass this. Then we know we're going to test that line again. And then our next one is going to be around 43, 44. That is great. Shiba has not done that. The difference between Shiba and Doge has been night and day. Shiba is literally sliding down a slippery slope here. So the question is, where will Shiba build up that resistance? And they have that one line of support. If that doesn't hold up, then you're going to look at a full retracement. So the catalyst and all that kind of stuff, Shiba could really use a catalyst right about now. So to kind of save it. So that's where I stand with Shiba. See, Dogecoin is Coca-Cola, Shiba is Shasta Cola. Yeah, Coca-Cola and RC. No, I mean, there's a place for all things. You're the man, David. I love how neutral and fair on your opinions of coins. Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to say that, because I can't say that even if I don't personally like a coin, it's not up to me. It's not my decision. I'm not the market maker. Hell, let's see. Elon likes Shiba. I'm not sure. Elon likes Dogecoin. Warren Buffett can wake up tomorrow and be like, you know what? I changed my mind on crypto. I like Shiba. What's going to happen in Shiba? Shiba's going to the moon. Like, it's not it has the same catalyst that pumps one coin, pumps another. So I don't try to be misleading. I just try to, look at the facts and, leave enough room there to share my thoughts and allow you guys to make your own personal decision. So, I do my best to stay neutral. Oh, I hate those. I stopped watching a few guys because they were just hyping so much. Let's see. Hold on here. Seems like you don't usually reply to Arabs, which would be weird. What Arabs have I been ignoring? What are you talking about? Let's see here. What the hell? I don't know why you're pretending you're not reading my comments. What are you asking about? Let me scroll up here and see what you're talking about, since you're making some interesting claims here. I sold 50% when it pumped yesterday, and I kept the rest hoping it would hit $5 in 2 years. What, is that what you're talking about? What do you like? I don't understand what you're saying. Like saying I don't reply to Arab or something like that. Right, because if that's what you mean, I'm not sure. Technically, I'm answered. That's more of a statement, so I don't know. Like, I do some statements. Most of the times, I'd answer questions. So if you have a question, let me know. I'm not, but I don't look at comments and try and determine where they're from and decide if I'm going to answer it or not. I don't have time to do that. That's ridiculous. Let's see. According to Shiba, a fake Shiba Telegram group is being shared across all social media. These scammers impersonate official accounts and create fake users. These scammers reply to general posts. Huh. Interesting. I didn't even heard about that. A fake Shiba Telegram. Huh. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though, because the amount of crap that I get either in my comment section or uh, um, the amount of crap I get in my comment section or my email has been absolutely crazy. So I wouldn't doubt that at all. Let's see. I was trying to sound sarcastic, but oh, okay. And I thought you were serious. I was like, what the hell? Okay, we're good. We're good. Let's see. That race issue. Read my comment. Yeah, I mean, if you have, okay, I'm trying to do more because what happens is, okay, so there's a delay in the system that I'm using because technically speaking, I'm not on YouTube right now. I'm in a third-party software that is streaming through my YouTube channel to yours. So there's actually a delay. So sometimes I'll either get a refresh of comments and it'll be like 20 at a time, or I'll realize I'm behind and I'll try and scroll up because it's different because the people, if I'm 10 or 15 minutes behind, the people's question that I'm answering are probably not even watching the live stream anymore. So I try and make sure I have some engagement with people that are actually still on the live stream because there's 160 people here right now. I doubt that this is the 160 from an hour ago. So this is probably a completely new set. So that's why that's kind of what's going on. Let's see. The main problem with Shiba is it introduced itself as Dogecoin killer. That is absolutely correct. That is a stigma that you are that you don't want, But at the same time, even though it's negative, it was effective because nobody would have heard of Shiba if it had not attached itself to the momentum of Dogecoin last year. So that's the only reason Shiba is even in conversation right now. So even though it's technically saying that it's created, issues and tension between the two communities, as far as for building the actual community and making it a contender, it was effective. So that's one of the things that, it's one of those business moves that it kind of can be looked at from like a side eye, but it still works. So as far as for them not having to, because at the same time, if you look at the catalyst, it typically has been trailing Dogecoin because it's saying, okay, I attach myself to the Dogecoin image, I use a similar dog. We're going to use all the same catalysts. Because a few months ago, people were attacking me on my channel saying that Doge was, Shiba was going to go to the moon too, or Elon supported both of them until he said that he didn't. And then it was AMC is going to accept Dogecoin, and they were like, no, accept Shiba too. So it's kind of like this whole thing there, and that's one of the reasons why I say that it's difficult for me to be long on it because I need to see them be innovative in their own way. Because you can't lead if you're waiting on another coin to make a move, so you can say, wait, take us too, we're going to do that too. Like so that's what's kind of like the issue there. So but we'll see. Like again. It's totally possible for them to, innovate. The community is large enough. So, it's one of those things that we'll see. Time will tell. Let's see. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, there's right. Let's see. Hey man, probably wasn't person. There's a lot of comments to keep up with. He missed a few. Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't. I'm sorry. I can't read every comment. So I just try to. Again, I just try to make sure that. Hey, yo, it's okay. He apologized. It's okay. He said that's not what he meant. um, let's see. Um, let's see here. What price range do you see Doge being at a year from now? Difficult. Well, who said Arab coin? I'm done. Oh my God. Okay. But what price range do you see Doge being at a year from now? Um, Really hard to say as far as like the price range guesses, but I would like to see Doge come up and test that, at least test that all-time high again this year. I believe we have the catalyst to do that. And I think that we're going to expand heavily this year when it comes down to utility. So I would like to see it, at $1 or so from a year from now. So I think that I think we have what we need, and we're headed the direction to make that happen. So I'm excited for Dogecoins next year. So I think that's something that is not like far fetched or anything like that. So I would like to see it at around $1, even though I'm expecting some sell offs at around 74 to I say 95, some heavy sell offs. But I think that is something that we can like kind of make happen. So I'd say like $1 or so would be happy for me. And then at the same time, it's hard to chart catalyst and momentum and FOMO, so it could be even higher. Don't know, but that's honestly what I'd like to see going forward. Still here, absolutely. I appreciate you. Oh my God, I hope you guys. I hope I'm not keeping you guys up. This is the longest live I've ever done, but don't get me wrong. I appreciate you guys for staying on so long. I hope I'm not boring you. So keep thinking there. I appreciate you. Thank you. Let's see. Let's see. David, man, you're a great YouTuber. You're doing a really great job with the charts. Keep up the good work. Thank you. I appreciate you. Damn, it's like, yeah, I know. Well, technically speaking, if I'm being completely honest, I normally stay up until around 5 8. I usually wait until like the markets open. So typically at night, I run my charts and stuff like that, and try and get like projections or see where I'm going to hedge or move my numbers around. So normally I'm up at these hours anyway. I'm just not on YouTube. So this is actually not a stretch for me. So I hope I'm not messing up anybody's nighttime schedule. I say I recommend your audience to read the Crypto Marcus Manifesto Timothy to better understand Dogecoin. Yeah, I haven't read that yet. So definitely you guys can check it out. I'll leave it up here for a moment. Let's see. It's all good, Mohammed. Let's see. I have to be quiet now. Shows everyone put me in a corner. Maybe. Yeah, I mean, I'm sorry. I know it's just when I saw your comment, I really thought you were serious. So I didn't mean to start anything in the comment section, but I really thought like I had no way. When you say something like that, you got to put a LOL or a laughing emoji or something like that, because if you just make that statement without context, I have no choice but to think you meant it exactly how it reads. So you got to put like a couple LOLs on there or something. Let's see. I got 230,000 Dogecoin and 1 billion sheep. I think it's going to be a good year. Absolutely, absolutely. I think that this year, because I made a video. Let's say, was it last year? Maybe like a few weeks ago, a couple weeks ago, like last year. I said the next 90 days are going to determine everything, as far as for how far Dogecoin is going to go, how much is the interaction going to happen with Dogecoin. And I spoke about the catalyst and how it was important for the community to show up and show out for Dogecoin. And and as far as from what I can see with Tesla, that's exactly what we're doing. We are in amazing shape for Dogecoin. I don't follow Shiba as close, but some guy in the comment section the other night was telling me that Shiba has some big catalysts coming up or something like that. So as long as she does that and it holds up that line from where it is, resistance line, then it's in great shape to stick around. So I expect the market to expand. So the coins that are adapt and grow, they're going to be not only rewarded, but they'll be a part of the market expansion later on. So I think that'll be a great move overall for crypto, but especially for some of our favorite coins here. They're going to reward a lot of the early holders handsomely. Arab Inu is going to explode, guys. Oh, is that on Coin? Is that on Coinbase yet? Do I think it would hit $1 with the rocket launch? It's possible. It's hard. I can't see because I can. The best thing I can say is it's possible. I can't chart. I wish I could, but I can't chart momentum or FOMO until after it happens. But I can say it's possible. A rocket launch, Dogecoin satellite, all that kind of stuff. Again, that's international. It's history being made for one, and then at the same time, that's going to be international, news. Because I look at my analytics. I have a lot of people. Obviously, my biggest following is in the UK, but I think Australia is next. UK, Canada. So Dogecoin is it's everywhere. So when this goes up, this is going to be international news. A lot of people are going to be happy about this. So I think that, as far as for the amount of people coming in, or even as we get close to that date and people start talking about it, like maybe like the week before, like, hey, Doge 1 goes up next week. A lot of times people are going to be like, you know what? Just in case, let me put some money in here because I don't know what's going to happen. And if that happens on a large scale, we're looking at, anything's possible. But if I were going to say, if there was a catalyst to create that type of momentum this year to get Dogecoin to $1, it would be the rocket launch. So, totally possible. And, if I had to pick one, that would be the one to do it. Let's see. I'm up till 3 anyway. There we go. I'm not bored. This live is lit. There we go. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're having fun. After all the adoption upgrades now coming up, what's next? What's next is going to be, I think that the biggest thing for us is going to be the utility. That's where our longevity is going to come in. I consider Tesla. Tesla is a part of it, just because Elon kind of is he was like the heartbeat of this, even just getting the community together. But AMC is going to be really big. But I consider like the Doge 1 and stuff like that to be kind of like press runs, right? What we need to do as a community is like with Tesla and with AMC is really blow those numbers out of the water so that we can attract additional institutions, retailers, and stuff like that into the market to give us more places to spend money, so that we are able to do groceries or auto repair, online shopping and stuff like that. Bigger retailers with Dogecoin, and that's only going to happen when we see consistent things like what we saw over the past few days with the fact that Tesla is sold out. That's the kind of news that we want to have. We want to have that. Ever since Tesla accepted Dogecoin, there is absolutely nothing on that website. When AMC says, hey, Dogecoin payment is now live, and we want Adam Aaron to get on Twitter and be like, 80% of all of our transactions now is in Doge. Like, oh my, it's so much Dogecoin flying in here. We don't even carry cash anymore. It's crazy. Dogecoin is our #1 payment method. That is the kind of press that it's going to have other institutions like, wow, if we accept Dogecoin, they're going to support us like that. We're leaving a lot of money on the table by not supporting Dogecoin. I think we should. And that is how we start the domino, the avalanche effect of spreading Dogecoin. So I think that that is the adoption that we're going to need to give Dogecoin the stability. Because the biggest thing when people say that, okay, I want something like a burn, and the biggest thing you say that, okay, well, if we have that kind of Dogecoin flowing into AMC and other retailers, I look at the same approach as, why doesn't Elon sell all of Tesla? Why doesn't Jeff Bezos sell off Amazon? Because you're going to hurt the overall market share and decrease the value of the coins that you're currently getting and the coins that you still have by dumping too much at one time. So if we turn these institutions into whales, they're going to have to, if they want to convert back to cash, they're going to have to drip them back very slowly. So when we give this momentum and remove these large amounts of coins off the market, we're going to reduce the remaining supply. When the supply gets low, the remaining supply increases in value. So this is where these early investors such as ourselves, this is where we capitalize, because we'll see at some point, we'll see a point of stabilization with the overall like prices based off of like how much momentum. They'll say, okay, well, we're spending billions in Dogecoin, and you won't see these large sell-offs where the whales be like, oh, it's at 50 cents again. I'm going to take my $100 million profit now and send it to hell. It's not going to have that type of control, because the institutions and stuff like that, they're going to have so much Dogecoin like in their wallets. We're going to have like a period of like literally stability, and it'll almost kind of act almost like a stable coin. Something it'll have the consistency like we've seen here at like the 15 cents line, where it does move, but it's not swinging like you're having that sell off from like 33 to like 15 or something like that, or 25. So I think that is what's next. That's kind of like where we're headed. That was a really long answer, but I hope that made sense. Sorry. So how do we as a society file a complaint to the SEC about the AMC stock? They know about it. They've been changing laws and stuff like that, 0010 and all these different laws over the past year where, if a hedge fund is over leveraged, they're not allowing them to sell shares into the market. They'll hold the shares as collateral and give them the cash. They know all about this. They've been changing laws tremendously. Excuse me. Even my brokerages, when I started last year, I could remove, I want to say $50,000 or $100,000 a day. They've reduced the amount of money that I can actually take out. I think I'm down to like 25,000 a day or something like that now. So they're preparing. This lets me know that they're preparing for a large transfer of cash or wealth, and they're literally putting laws and limits in place to kind of control that. So I don't even know about. We can file a complaint, but in my opinion, even Gary Gensler, he's spoken on it a few times briefly without going into details. But this lets me know that he knows what's going on, and the SEC knows what's going on. I just think that because this is so much bigger than we think, and the market stability kind of lies in the midst, I think it has to be done a certain way and very slowly. You just can't come out and be like fraud, liars, because they'll obviously send the economy to hell, because who wants to have their money invested into a fraud? So you kind of got to be careful. And I think that's kind of what's taking so long anyway, because if an AMC squeeze means that has been fraud in the market and that there's a lie. And this is bigger than just us as investors holding shares. You have to think about that. Most countries invest in our bonds and in our markets. This is alarming overall to admit that there's actually fraud in the market. This is going to send the market, and outside of AMC, this is going to send the market into an absolute panic. So I think that, when you have things like this kind of is one of the reasons why things are moving so slow and why haven't they squeezed yet? Because it's actually bigger than the play. When you have the largest economy in the world and the biggest stock market in the world, and then you have to openly admit that there's mass fraud going on, then the question is this the only stock that the fraud is going on? How long has this fraud been going on? How many people have gotten screwed? Are they entitled to compensation? So it's a domino effect. So when I thought about that like a few months ago, it made sense that this is taking so long, because the squeeze, yeah, we're all like, yeah, pay me, but the damages after that is going to be going on for quite some time. Let's see, good energy in here. Can't wait to end the day. Thank you. I'm glad. I'm glad I can provide a place with good energy, and that's kind of what I want to do with the new Discord. So I'll be excited for everyone to be a part of that. Let's see. Never boring, always instructive. Disruption. Thank you. I appreciate it. Let's see. Big green candles on Doge right now. Let me see. I'm going to do a refresh here. Just refresh the screen. Maybe TradView is lagging here, but It's definitely some decent sized candles. So again, I believe that based off of history, this is our time to go and retest this line here. But we'll know for sure once we get up here around this 200-day moving average, depending on how we respond to. But based off of history, every time we pretty much we come back up here, when we dip below, when we come back, we're typically on an uptrend because we got slapped down here, but we came right back and ran up to test it. So we're going to see, and same thing here, when we passed the 50-day and the 21-day moving average, we came up to test. So we're going to see, but based off of history, we just surpassed the 50-day moving average. So historically speaking, this should be the run to come up and test. So we shall see. We shall see. We shall see. Thanks. You're going to sleep now. All right, man. Have a good night. Let's see. Let's see. So, David, what do you think about the process of staking crypto for purchases instead of actually exchanging, selling them? That way, we're invested in the company long term, brand loyalty, and keep crypto. No, I mean, I'm not against staking. Even if it's ISO purchases and stuff like that. I just think that just kind of got to weigh out. If especially if that is your intention to purchase with them, then it matters less. I told the guy earlier, I would just not have everything staked or on an actual brokerage. I would have some, kind of off the books in your cold wallet. So I just think that just do both. If you want to stake and stuff like that, and take pieces of and have invested in the companies and stuff, that's fine. But just have some off the market. That's my only recommendation to that. I don't have any issue with any of the staking process right now. Just don't have all your coins on the brokerage. What does everyone think of PI? Brother is all excited trying to get me to join, but looking at it, it's either brilliant or a scam. Feeling more like a scam. I have no idea what PI is. Let me see if I can look this. PI. What PIV? Yeah, I have no idea what that is. So I can take a look, but I'll need further clarification. King David, can I leave the class and go to sleep? Absolutely. Get your rest, man. Get your rest. I will not hold you. Don't sell your Bitcoin for valueless dollars. Use your Dogecoin instead. That's the way. That's the way. I heard something about retailers like Walmart somehow saving millions of dollars daily by accepting Doge. Can you explain how? I have to look and compare, but if it's the way I think it's through certain like processing fees and stuff like that. Because if you're familiar, I did a video on this. What was it called? I forget the name of the video now, but I pretty much compared like my top 5 long-term positions, and I put them in different niches and I compared them to actual credit cards, and whether you have like processing fees or the fact that they all do this similar thing, but they settle into their own like niche. They settle there and you're able to use it. But some of them have lower processing fees than others, transactional fees. So when I'm not sure where you're located, but here we have things like a Costco or Sam's Club. And when you go there, they're going to say cash or Visa because of the lower transaction fees. So when you have something that has and that saves them money over, especially over the course of a year, and you have, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of customers, you save a bunch of money. Those little pennies add up. So I'm not sure in this particular case like what you're talking about, but in my opinion, when I was looking at those numbers, that's how I figured that companies like Amazon and Walmart and these large companies that do massive amounts of transactions, they can save money by having these lower transaction fees. And also, that's a great way for Dogecoin to settle into its niche because it doesn't work with some of these higher fee coins, especially Bitcoin. It'll never work. But like I'm not sure exactly what article you're speaking to, but I know based off of my research, that's one of the areas that it can, in fact, work. So how do we, as a society, file a complaint about the SEC? I think I answered that already. Doge just casually jumped 50 cents. 50 cents or 5? Let's see. Do you think we'll be able to use Doge to buy stuff on Amazon, lattes at Starbucks, burgers at McDonald's? Yeah. No, I think that day is coming sooner than you think. The market is expanding, so 0.5 cent. Okay, got you, cyber threat. I think that that day is coming sooner than you think. I think that we're going to see Dogecoin Dogecoin and a lot of other cryptos trying to be a competitor for that spot. I think as long as we are, ambitious with Dogecoin and stuff like that, I think that we're going to see, Dogecoin come out on top, and we're going to be able to use Dogecoin in a lot of different places. It's been a while since I said this. I have no idea how many likes this video has, but please consider giving the video a like and also subscribe if you want to hear more from me. I do this every day, not 2.5 hour lives. I will not be doing that every day, but I do post videos like every day, and I go over TA and give you my interpretation on the market. So I appreciate all of you for that. And if you would like to hear more from me, please consider subscribing. I'm trying to hit 40,000 by the end of Q1. Let's see. All right, there we go. Good night. Appreciate you. You made me feel famous for a sec, David. Working on the Arab Inu. Hey man, I feel like I deserve a fee, man. Or like if there's gonna be an Arab coin, I feel like there's a couple people in here that were kind of like pitching it, but I don't know. I feel like there needs to be like a 4-way split or something. I don't know. I'm gonna have to send you an email about this. I don't know. Let's see. What does top mean? Is he with the guy today? What? I don't. let me click off of that. I have no idea what time. I have to look at Elon's post. I have no idea what it means. As far as the AMC goes, there are so many YouTubers covering it and spreading different info. And many say people won't be able to sell synthetic shares if they hold them. I don't know if there are a lot of people out there. People hop on to whatever is going to get them, views and clicks. But when it comes to synthetic shares, if you sold them to me as real, like how was I supposed to know that they're synthetics? That comes down to that's the broker's fault, and they have insurance and stuff like that. But if I buy something from a reputable dealer that has insurance and supposedly in compliance with the DTCC and stuff like that, how is that my fault if the shares are fake? That's kind of like if I go to Bank of America or Wells Fargo and take out, $1,000 and they give me 10 fake $100 bills. How is that my fault? You're the one that's not in compliance here. I'm owed my $1,000. So I don't see how that's true. In my opinion, because I think most of the shares that came after like March or April last year are fake, just because of the volume that came out, and then that's when we started getting putting up these massive numbers, even though most of the shares were gone. So, and from my understanding, I don't believe that to be the case. let's see. Still weak off the ARAB coin. 200 day is very important. We need to see 34 for Doge. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's how we're going to know. We got to test that line, man. We have to test it. We have to test it. What price did you start buying Doge at? I started buying Doge, I want to say January 28th last year. It was around like 2 cents. I posted my first purchase on Twitter a while back, but I know it was like 2 cents and something. January 28th. That's what I want to say was my first purchase last year. So my first purchase at AMC was like $5 or something. I don't remember the date, but I got in relatively early, I can say the least. What the hell are you guys talking about? Buy and hold. I've been hanging in Robinhood, the best place to get a wallet for Dogecoin. I get the Nano, man. Outside of having it on the brokerage, I get the Nano. I would just who's this saying? Please say my what? I don't get it. But yeah, I would get the Nano just so that you can have pretty much in a cold wallet and have it off the record, out of the mainstream. So that would be my suggestion to you. Let's see, besides Tesla, who do you think will accept Dogecoin retail wiser? I think that we're going to, I think the next step for us, I want to target some bigger ones, but I think we kind of got to make our case. AMC is really a big deal, but after this, I want to start putting pressure on some chains. I don't know if we can get Walmart or Amazon just yet, but we're probably going to have to start putting pressure on like some fast food chains. I'm working on a list. I started that last year. I haven't gotten too far in it, but I want to say our best bet is probably to go toward something that's national, that has a presence, but is more, I won't say in tune than like a Walmart or Amazon. Those are going to be a little more difficult to reach. So I have to just kind of figure out like a company that's more like innovative and more likely to try something, first before it's like proven. I think that Walmart or something like that kind of like on the back end, but the first step is going to be make sure that Tesla and AMC are going to be successful. I think that's step one, and that's how we're going to get there. I will tell my friends about your channel. Yeah, please do. Tell all your friends about my channel, like every one of them, and tell them to sub so I can get to 40K. And even though subscribers don't necessarily make it, like I'm gonna say they don't make a difference, but it doesn't boost the channel or anything. It just kind of makes you feel better. That's really what subscriber count does. It's like emotional validation, really. Let's see. You said Doge was going to 6 cents. I said it wasn't going lower than 12 cents. And we're about to go up, and we agree a loser would apologize. That is absolutely correct. In context, what I said was Dogecoin's bottom was 6 cents, was the absolute bottom floor. 12 cents was the historical average, and that we would know more at around March or April when the Fed would decide whether or not, or how quickly they were going to raise interest rates, because roughly right now we are at 0%. If they raise them sharply, as they predicted, and Goldman Sachs predicted, where we'll get around 4 this year, it would send panic throughout the market, and the institutions, because they don't have, because crypto is considered a riskier investment, they were going to rebalance their portfolios in the stock market, and the market would have a sharp sell-off, and Dogecoin would test some of those lower lines. That is what I said. And I specifically said, if this is the guy who I'm talking about, I specifically said in the comments that it would be around March or April or so. So we are still within that window. And it doesn't, even as far as when it comes to this, I hope I'm wrong. Like I want the Fed to come out and be like, you know what? The inflation, we got it under control. We're going to keep, everything's fine, and we're not going to raise interest rates right now. And Dogecoin goes to the freaking moon. Like that's best case scenario to me. I'd rather make multiple six figures and come on here and be like, you know what, I was wrong, Michael. That's easier for me to say than for me to be like, you know what, I was right, and here we are at 12 cents and without multiple six figures. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. This is one argument I want you to win, Michael. I'm rooting for you on this. But I did say we'll have an idea around March or April if this is the guy who I'm thinking about. So, and I will certainly stick to that. Yeah, no, I just explained that. So, and not necessarily, I don't know what you just basically said it was going to go up. It's not necessarily it being right, but I just explained what was going on. Let's see. I'm hoping that Doge holds up enough to buy real estate with. Yeah, I think it over time. Yeah, we'll definitely get there. We need Walmart. We do. Petco for Doge. Yeah, something like that, right? Might not be a bad move. Just subscribe and like. I appreciate your content. Thank you. I appreciate it. We're going to get David to 50,000 subscribers. That'll be amazing. I appreciate that. So Dogecoin vibes. If you want to use your Dogecoin, find those 147 companies that already accepted. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, there's a list. I need to go over that actually. Matter of fact, thank you. I'm going to put this on my list to research tonight when I get off of here. Sorry, I'm just going to write this down because if I don't, I will forget. Okay, so I'm listening. Thanks. No problem, Michael. Dogecoin vibes, absolutely. All right, so we're at 2 hours, 37 minutes. All right, so before I go, everyone, so if you want to be a mod in the Discord, send me, I'm going to put my email in the chat. Hold on here. Fluff 2021 Gmail. If you want to be a mod, shoot me an email here. Because I have no idea how many people are actually going to be in the, who are actually going to even join the community. But I do know that I have enough things to do. I actually got to go. I'm going to go to Florida probably the next week or so, and I'll be down there. So my background setup may be a little different, but I have to check on one of my properties and stuff like that because I do plan, if everything goes right this year, I do plan on expanding more in real estate. So that whoever had the real estate comment a few moments ago, I am with you on that. 198 likes. So before I go, if 2 of you haven't liked the video yet, can we get to 200? That'll literally be the most likes I've ever got while currently on a live stream. So if 2 of you haven't liked the video yet, can we get to, let's see, what's your job, if you don't mind me asking? You mean like past tense? Now I don't work for anyone. This is, I'm not sure if you mean present or, yeah, present. I work for me. So it's just me, my real estate, investments, YouTube now. That's it. So that's one of the reasons I posted in the comment section when, saying that, your investments, let's say if they retired you, let's keep the, like disrespect and stuff to certain levels. So, so I'm proud to say that I don't do, let me go back here. So yeah, I'm proud to say that I have been effective enough to stop working. So before this, I've had not a lot of jobs, but I have worked at a Walmart warehouse before. One of my first jobs was that 19? Yeah, I did. One of my first jobs was at 2 Men in a Truck, and I'm sure I shaved off about 10 years of my life lifting people's furniture upstairs. I have worked at Amazon before, warehouse jobs, but right before my last job, before I started investing in real estate and stuff like that, I was a pneumatic tanker. So I was local at that, but I would do stuff like on the railroad. I would do like plastic, barley for like beer, flour, starch for some like really big companies. And basically we hook up these pipes to like rail cars and stuff like that. And we use a blower and we pump them off onto a trailer, and then we pump them off into a distributor. Really good money, which is, what created the excess in the amount of money, which allowed me to invest and buy properties and stuff like that. So before, these really big numbers and stuff like that, a CDL really changed my life. Past 207. There we go. Thank you. I'm glad you guys liked the video. And Dave, how low do you see AMC going before it moves back up? I think they're going to try and get it to like 15, to be honest with you. So, I just, at my point, I think that, that's where it's going to be before they, start dumping that price, and then they'll try and get it even lower and trigger a sell-off, and then we're going to see that big move up. Let's see. Unfortunately, ZT. How long have you been investing in crypto? About 2.5 years. Yeah. Well, probably about 3 years now. I started with like Bitcoin, obviously, but start with first by Bitcoin. I want to say like 4,000. Bitcoin is like 4,000 or 5,000. Should have loaded up, but I did get some, and that is obviously in the green. But I feel the same way about all of my investments that I'm up over 100% on. It's like, oh my god, I started buying AMC at $5. Should have gotten more. Should have got more Dogecoin at 2 cents. It's always should have gotten more, right? Let's see. We're gonna get David there. There we go. I appreciate you guys, and I'm glad it's over 200 likes for the live stream. I appreciate that. That means a lot. This is my longest live stream ever. I appreciate the likes. Those of you who have decided to become subscribers, I appreciate all of you guys. It means a lot to me. I would do my best to not disappoint you and bring value each time. So I'm grateful. 210 now. Wow. I'm breaking records tonight. So this is great. I appreciate all of you guys. This is a crazy long live, but this is how I get to know you guys and get a feel for the community. So we're going to conclude it here. Let me know what you think about the Discord if you want to be mod. And if you have become a subscriber, take a look at my, keep an eye on my my community section, and you're going to see a post with the Discord link in it within the next day or so, and you guys will be able to join from there. So with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow in the next video. Thank you, good night, and I appreciate all of you.